Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. In today's video, this is going to be a response to my buddy Iowa Retro Gamer Dad. This is a top 5 favorite things in your game room for 2020. Now, I couldn't let this challenge go. It's just too good to pass up. Now, I have done some stuff similar to this before, and Iowa Retro Gamer Dad actually brought that up in his video. He said, hey, War Train, I know you maybe have done this, but if you haven't, I pass it along to you. So I gladly accept. I've done stuff similar, but not quite like this. So I'm going to take this as being a unique moment to do something a little more unique. That's why I'm going to do top 5 things that have total sentimental value that are going to be staying in my collection because I absolutely love them and they are some of my favorite items. So, with that said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to show you guys is something I've had in my collection for a long time that I didn't even know that I still had, because this comes all the way from 1989, which is insane to believe it's been that long, and that is the original Game Boy. This would have been one of my launch Game Boys in my household. We had 2 of them. The other one must have got the brunt of the gameplay because I found this, I had it stored away in a Game Boy case. I had 2 of them. The other one was beat to death. And then I had this one that was in a lot better shape, and it was in the protective case, so that makes a lot of sense. But it had my original launch Tetris that I got with the Game Boy in there, which is absolutely awesome, and a couple of my absolute favorite games to play from that time. Now, Tetris definitely was a big deal at the time, and what a great game to sell this console with. At the time, that was the way. If you wanted to play Tetris, you got a Game Boy. It was before the NES even got a port of it. And it's crazy because this thing still plays, still sounds good, and still, a blast to play to this day. And I got a couple of the other games I played a ton of that I love. I still enjoy these games, and that is Super Mario Land. I absolutely love this version of Mario. It's definitely a bit different, and it's just a very short game, but a lot of fun. I actually beat this game so many damn times, I can't even tell you how many times I beat it. There for a while, I almost beat it on a daily basis. And Revenge of the Gator, which is actually a pinball game and a lot of fun, and probably explains why I love digital pinball so much to this day. Well, besides the fact that I love regular pinball, but I just like pinball in general, and this was a way for me to play it at home with not having an actual pinball machine. Alright, so that is one of my absolute favorite things in my collection. And moving on, another favorite thing of mine is something else that has held up and that I still have from all those years ago. And something I got all this stuff together at the same time, and that is the Game Boy Color and Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Season. I bought these games and this Game Boy at the same time. I was working in the department store. I worked in sporting goods, and I used to stare across the store and be able to see electronics. And when this actually came out, I had to get it all at once and play some Zelda. Actually, I was playing Zelda while I was working that day, and played a lot of Zelda, from that day forward because I had to play these games. So absolutely awesome. And of course I love blue, so I had to pick the blue colored Game Boy Color. So absolutely awesome, something I love in my collection. It's just amazing that I still have this stuff. Now, something that I also just cherish, and I had at one point about a month after the launch of this system, and unfortunately I came on hard times. I sold it off. I sold some of my games that I loved for this system and that I played the most, and it just crushed me. And later down the road, which wasn't too long ago, I had to reconnect with the system and get those games back. and that is no other than the PlayStation Vita. Now, this is the one that I actually just picked up, and it got me going again, but this is the second model, the slim model, I guess you would call it, which has an LCD screen, but I wanted the OLED model because that was the one that I had, the original model. So I winded up finding one in great shape, and here it is. This would have been the original model that I had. This is an awesome system. I love the PlayStation Vita. It's a shame that Sony didn't, just keep up with it, and but there's a lot of great games for it. And with reconnecting with this thing and getting it back, I would never ever get rid of either one of these or any of these games again, just because it reminds me of that time, and I just hate thinking about it, and I'm so glad that I've reconnected with this stuff. And with that, some of the games that I had that I winded up selling that were most memorable because I played them the absolute most, here is two of them right here, and this is Mortal Kombat and PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale came out on PS3 at the same time, and I opted to get the Vita version only. And Mortal Kombat, I actually double dipped and got it for PS3 and the Vita because I absolutely loved it. I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan, so it absolutely made sense. But these were two games that I really wanted to get back, but the third one I did get back, and that goes into some other stuff that I just would not part ways with, and I absolutely love in my collection. This was actually given to me by a good friend of mine, Steve Craig, Retro Gamer. Definitely check out his channel. Right here, he got me a Little Big Planet for the Vita, but he also had picked me up Uncharted Golden Abyss. Now, this was the third game that I sold with that Vita, and it drove me crazy because it was three of the early games that I played the most of. So I was able to get this game and totally reconnect, the games, the three main pillar games that I had that I enjoyed on the system. And it's amazing how things come full circle sometimes. So these both never will leave my collection. I absolutely love them, and it's all some of my favorite stuff in my collection. So thank you, Steve, for picking these up and sending to me, buddy. I really appreciate that. And along with that, I also had some other stuff sent to me. Now this was from my buddy Sam from Contagious Collection. First off, when we all started talking, we sent each other a bunch of gaming stuff. So this was the first time any of them had sent stuff. Sam had sent this to me, and that is the PlayStation 2 Slim, which I, at the moment, didn't have a PlayStation 2. So this was an absolute awesome gift. And he also sent me a sealed PS2 game, Warriors of Might and Magic, which is awesome to have a sealed PS2 game. And a game that he knew I really liked and had a lot of nostalgic values or whatever, a lot of nostalgic feels for this game, and that is Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick. Absolutely awesome game, totally holds up to this day. This game's a lot of fun, but I used to play this with one of my other friends, so now this game has all kinds of meaning to it and just some of my favorite stuff. So absolutely awesome. Thank you, Sam. And that goes to some more stuff that I got from each of them. And this is also some of my favorite stuff that I have. And let's see here. Now, I'm just going to show this stuff together since it's both kind of like got the same game theme going on. And this is Legend of Zelda. My buddy Sam from Contagious Collection sent me this custom NES controller, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, which is awesome. Now, this is the only custom controller that I own, so that is a big deal. And the fact that he handmade this, or hand-painted it, and put the decal on is just even cooler. And my buddy Steve Craig recently sent me this game, Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link, sealed Game Boy Advance game, which is awesome. So these games go on my shelf in on my Zelda shrine. So definitely really cool, and just something I'll just cherish forever, honestly. Definitely some of my favorite pieces in my whole collection. That is for sure. I mean, come on guys, these are awesome. Definitely an awesome gift. You know, how can you argue with that? I mean, I don't think you can. But I also have the bonus, a little bonus here that I just also wanted to show, just because I was amazed that I still had these things here. Let's see, one of them, there it is. Thought one of them fell, but I had it here. And that is some cartridge games that somehow made it from the past. And the craziest one is the only thing I have from my original Sega Genesis collection from the late 80s, and that is Altered Beast that I got with my console at launch, which is insane. Out of all the games I had, somehow I have this game. So absolutely just killer. And these N64 games that somehow made it this whole time. We got Spider-Man, definitely doesn't hold up today. Star Wars Episode 1 pod racing game, I really do like this game. Just a lot of fun. Actually, the Nintendo 64 that I have behind me is actually the one that came with that game, which was my second Nintendo 64, and it was actually the box that had the Star Wars Episode 1 stuff going on. So I wish I still had that box. But then we got Rogue Squadron, still with a Blockbuster sticker on it, which is crazy, but definitely gives it a lot of character in these days anyway. We got 1080 Snowboarding, love that game. And last but not least, my two Nintendo 64 Zelda titles, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, the original carts that I had back then, and still with the same save files on it to this day, well, until that battery dies. But yeah guys, like I said, the carts at the end were just a bonus because I think it's awesome, and I would never get rid of any of these because just the fact that they hung on this long, they have a lot of meaning to them. And just the stuff from Steve, Craig, and Sam from Contagious Collection, absolutely awesome. Just totally favorite stuff in my collection. You know, along with the Game Boys and the Vita stuff, just absolutely killer. But I want to say thanks to Iowa Retro Gamer Dad for you know, hitting me with this challenge. I appreciate it, buddy. And thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to put content out like this as much as I can. But thanks again for stopping by. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one, guys.